And that's the Week 6 matchup against Kraken Nation and the Boston Bishops. That was a really tough one. And before I get started into everything, I'd like people to know that there was a little mishap on the spreadsheet where we keep our teams. So Kraken he didn't necessarily prepare for Dubwool and Blossom. So that changes how he builds his team. So I personally thought he would have brought a special Mew and possibly Como. So it does matter. But I did think we both played really well. The hacks at the end didn't really matter. He got low rolled on the drain punch from what's his name? Blossom, where I think it mattered, just depending on how it all worked out, because the air slash flunch 100% didn't matter because I had Scarfagoon in the back, and I'll show you guys the set in a second. But overall, I really, really, really like how I played. The start of the game could not have gone more perfect for me. Just as how I had everything built, it pretty much went exactly as I planned. The scarf into parting shot into hat, preventing the threat of hat prevents rocks so hard. Makes it really tough to deal with. And then I think I outplayed that Rabombi set very well. That's one of the reasons I brought Scarfagoon was for the Rabombi. So yeah, let's get into the team this week. We had Blossom, new member of the team. AV, Chlorophyll, didn't really matter. Moonblast, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Energy Ball. I did make a massive misplay where if I would have Energy Balled instead of Giga Drained, one, it would have done a ton of damage. It would have probably brought it down to about 40%. And two, that gave it more health. It probably got it out of Scarfagoon range. I think it was not as bulky a set as I thought it was. Well, it couldn't have been because it outspent my Arcanine, but I didn't put a lot of speed in my Arcanine, so it's like I couldn't really tell. I really like Blossom as a Pokemon. It's got an insane move pool. AV is great for, and I added the reason I spec'd it like this is so it could live a Specs Como-O Flamethrower and kill with Moonblast in return. So that's why it's kind of like this. The fact that it gets Moonblast and Energy and Sludge Bomb is kind of crazy. So I'm not looking to gift horse in the mouth there. Shep, the double, the other new member. This was my Crawdonk counter and technically my Rillaboom counter as well. This thing is just a defensive behemoth. It takes no damage. Cotton Guard, Rest, Sleep Talk, Body Press. I originally had Facade instead of Cotton Guard for the Facade damage, but apparently Facade doesn't work with Sleep because that would have been sick, but it didn't. So I dumped that out for Cotton Guard. I don't think I played double too well. I think there were a couple of times where I probably could have just jumped ahead and been like, no, he can't possibly stay in on my double. And I think it was choice. It was probably choice banded. It was scarfed, I don't know. So it's one of those situations where I was like, I just didn't know. There's a couple of times where I should have predicted the Mew switching and gone to Obstagoon. With someone else. But Nation's Best, the Arcanine. This was a fun Arcanine set. This was bulky. This is one of the reasons I like Arcanine. Intimidate, Morning Sun, Will-O-Wisp, Extreme Slip, Flare Blitz. This thing did work today, in this game. With 2 burns, I kind of didn't do properly the Extreme Speed over the Flare Blitz. I don't know why. I think I didn't want to take the recoil, but with leftovers and Morning Sun, I shouldn't have totally worried. It got toxic. I wasn't expecting the Mew to outspeed it, so that stunk. But that's how the game works. So especially switching into a plus, whatever. Blitz. So yeah, I was very proud of how I played on that Rabombi because I love choice Arcanines. I've run choice band a lot, So I think that's probably what he was thinking. So he could have just stalled it out. Well, he had leftovers, so he saw the leftovers, so he didn't think I was choiced. But once I revealed the Morning Sun, it's like, okay, now we're going to have a fight. It was already +1/+1/+1 with Quiver Dance. And then I showed the extreme speed. And it's like, okay, because at that point I had showed 2 of the 3 moves, I think. Yeah, so I showed 2 moves, and it's like, okay, well, does he have E-speed? And then I showed a secondary attacking move. Generally on this type of set, you don't have more than 1 attacking move. But I went with the E-speed, showed it off, realized he can't stay in, because then we'd get into a prediction game, and I'd win, because I just spam E-speed. E-speed and Morning Sun. So I'd win that, and then I read the switch into Rhyperior, which let me set stuff up with Blossom, which let me set stuff up with Hatterene, let me get the clutch cure, which is insane. So Arcanine really enabled the early mid game, where it let me bridge from the early game into the mid game very well, because I had the plan right with the early game, navigated that well, and then it brought me to the mid game where I could set up with my Hatterene and my Blossom. Blitz the Noivern. This was just heavy duty boots defog in case I couldn't get the rocks from going up. Draco U-turn air slash defog. Nothing really to write home about. Max speed because I wanted it to outspeed Boltund. So it was 1 point shy of Wabombi and 1 point ahead of what's his name? Boltund. So a Jolly Life Orb. I was expecting Jolly Life Orb Boltund if he ever brought it, but he didn't. So that was good. Obstagang. This was the more unique set I had. Didn't really get a chance to shine. But Choice Scarf, Reckless, Double Edge, Close Combat, Punting Shot, Throat Chop. The reason why it's Reckless Double Edge is so it 100% OHKOs Wabombi. Unless it's sashed, which I would have been very surprised if it was sashed, which I don't even know if this one was. So yeah, this one's job was to be the lead. This was the dedicated lead. If it was he either I think in every game he's either led by Rhyperior or Wabombi, except for the one game against Rillaboom had a great matchup. So being able to party shot away if it was Rhyperior and not reveal the scarf, because there's no way Rhyperior could touch Obstagoon speed, was great. And then if it was Wabombi, just kill it 1 turn. Yeah. Speed stat was just to it, so it could 100% outspeed Wabombi with if it had a scarf. With his scarf, I don't think Wabombi would ever be scarfed, especially when it was the fastest Pokemon on the field. Hatterene, this was the MVP of the game. Not really. I guess that was Arcanine, because he let me get to the mid game and let Noivern clean. But Magic Bounce is so threatening. You can't put up rocks against Hatterene or with the Hatterene on the team. So it's like, who knows what you're going to do. It was EV'd specifically so it could like live. Like if I killed something he brought in Crawdon, it could live a Crawdon Choice Banded Crabhammer or Liquidation and KO in return with Dazzling Gleam. So it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, it was built this way for a reason. Yeah. Aromatherapy was clutch. Shadow Ball was for the Mew. I didn't really know what Mew said he'd bring, so I was a little afraid of just having it Calm Mind set up on me. So I just kind of shot Shadow Balls. My plan was to shoot Shadow Balls on it. But it did its job. It was a very powerful Pokemon. The threat of Magic Bounce is awesome. So that's been very fun. It's been very fun to use. I've kind of used the same sets because it doesn't really have... It's got a monster special attack. It's got awful speed. It's got solid defenses, so it's like all I can think about is leftovers or a citrus berry. But it's been very fun to use. Can't really complain. But that's all I have for this week. We are right in the playoff hunt. If I can bring this, let me bring up the... We are currently the wild card leader in the Sword Conference. So if we win this week, we currently have a 3 differential over Daz and the Halifax Hydreigans. The other 2 spots have been clinched. So I'm just looking forward to trying my best. It's going to be fun. Got a really tough matchup. Ionite's really good. And I think he could still possibly make the playoffs. You need a lot. You need to 6-0 me, which he can do. He's got a really good team. His team matches up very well against mine. He has a lot of weaknesses. He exploits a lot of my team's weaknesses that I've been able to skirt by relying on a couple Pokemon. But other than that, I think we're in good shape. That's all I have for you guys today. And I hope to see you guys next week on Week 7, final week, Kraken Cup regular season. Do we make the playoffs? Do we not? I don't know. I don't know yet. We'll find out. All right. Goodbye.